Hi guys, I'm recording this a little bit in advance. I just got out of the session that I did for this challenge, which I'll put the link below. But we did some crazy stuff working on getting the body into alignment with the spirit, because as you know, your body may have its own agenda. I think all of us have had experiences where we told ourselves, like, I am not going to do that thing. And then our body urges, like, get out of control. And all of a sudden you were eating an entire sleeve of Oreos at once, you know? It happens. We have these decisions that we're making with our mind and even with our heart, and our body is sometimes slow to the get-go, and it's very frustrating. And today, that's the session that I recorded. We got a number of our physical organs on board with the spirit. We focused in particular on the esophagus, the ureter, the pancreas, the heart, the thyroid, and the spleen. And so it seems like a little bit of a random amalgamation of organs, but those are the ones that came up to get some extra TLC. And I don't know, if you have a heart or a pancreas, I recommend doing this session. So the link for that is below. And today I want to talk about Mercury in retrograde a little bit more. I've done, some videos about this that I think are still worth revisiting if you haven't watched them already. But right now, Mercury is in Virgo for a little bit longer. And because it's going retrograde, it's kind of going backwards into Leo. Now, importantly, Mercury is not actually going backwards in real life, okay? The planets are always going to be orbiting in the same direction, but from our perspective on Earth, because the Earth is also orbiting, and the Earth is spinning, and when we look up into the night sky, the way that all these planets are passing each other and the way that everything is moving from our perspective leads to it looking like some planets are going backwards. They're not actually going backwards, but it looks that way from our perspective. And since we are the important players in our own lives, that's the perspective that matters. So right now, Mercury is in retrograde and it will be entering back into Leo very shortly. But we still have a couple more days with Mercury in Virgo, so I wanted to talk about that. Mercury deals with our thinking and thoughts and communication, and Mercury actually rules Virgo. That means that Mercury is like the planet that's the boss of that constellation. And Virgo is also very mercurial in that it's about thinking and talking and communicating and reasoning and logic. And so right now we have a little bit of a double whammy of Mercury in retrograde in Virgo because it's in its native home. All of those, the things that make Mercury Mercury are going to be heightened right now because Mercury is in Virgo. And because Mercury is in retrograde, we just have extra strength power to help us process the Virgo things in our lives that need to be communicated, okay? Famously, during Mercury retrograde, communication can go badly awry. And a lot of times we misunderstand each other. A lot of problems can be caused by the misunderstandings that we experience in a communicative sphere, shall we say. But this also gives us a lot of power in thinking through what needs to be thought through. So remember that Mercury retrograde is all about rethinking and reviewing, reevaluating the stuff that we've done and the stuff that we've thought and the stuff that has happened in our lives. And we are supposed to spend this 3-week period digging into the stuff of the past and seeing what we did wrong and what we need to do differently for the future. And when we dig into that, I mean, that's true no matter where that Mercury retrograde is happening. If it's happening in Aquarius, if it's happening in Scorpio, that's always true. But with it in Virgo, there's just extra power in it, I think, because we have extra support for our mental thoughts, for thinking and for being reasonable, reasoning through things and being really logical about it. And this is also going to give us this opportunity to reevaluate what is going on a logical level. What are the actual logical structures that have led us to this point and where did they go wrong? Virgo is famous for being obsessed with logic, but Hi, honey. What? I can in a few minutes, okay? Maybe Sarah can get you one now. Um, anyway, Mercury. What was I even saying, guys? Um, right. Virgo thinks it's very logical. And sometimes it is very logical, but I was reading some astrologer the other day that pointed out that Virgo and Pisces are connected by their axis and they are two sides of the same coin and they are both delusional in different ways. Virgo thinks it's exempt from delusionality because it's so logical. And what Virgo often doesn't realize is that its very logic is what is delusional, which I can verify is true as a Virgo sun. Many times what I thought was really logical and like, ho ho, I'm right, it was not logical and I was in delusion zone. Hi, what? Okay. Um, anyway, as we are dealing with Mercury in Virgo, we get a little extra support to notice what logical structures have led us here, or what did we think was a logical structure and it was actually not logic at all. And you know, right now we have a great chance to start like sorting that out. As I'm talking about this, I'm like thinking of all these different situations in my own life where I'm like, ah, yes, I'm seeing where I thought I was really logical, but I was actually delusional. Like, ah, great. Really excited to deal with that. But that's the joy of it. Um, I'm thinking of a big investment that I made financially for a thing that was going to help me upgrade my business, and it has not done what I needed it to do. And now I'm like, oh, I see how dumb I was to sign up for this. And now I have to like go deal with all of the people on the other end of this and like try and sort it all out. Okay, well, better bring it to our attention than to not, you know? So if you see like, if you feel like a bunch of mistakes that you didn't realize were mistakes, and now all of a sudden you're like, oh, that was a mistake. That's the gift of Mercury retrograde, and it's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Let it go. Take the steps that you need to take to do what you can to make it right. But we don't need to freak out about it, and we don't need to be upset about it. We just embrace that that is the nature of life. We're on the roller coaster. We do smart stuff. We do really stupid stuff. We think we do smart stuff, and it turns out that it was actually stupid stuff, and that's okay. And we just live and learn and get through it with a positive attitude if we can. Remember that the stars do not force anything upon anybody. We get to choose what we do. And the energy that we bring to the chart is the most important thing. So if you are feeling trapped by your stars, that is the wrong attitude. You get to choose how those stars show up for you by virtue of your attitude. So change your attitude, step into a positive frame of mind, which I know is easier said than done. Like, process your traumas. That's why I do all the work that I do at allydozetclasses.com. But as we process that stuff and enable ourselves to have a more positive attitude, the more positive we can show up to our lives, the more easily everything in our lives is going to sort itself out and flow for us. So that would be very great. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you guys have the best day. Be sure to check out the session that goes along with this daily series. It was a doozy and awesome. So I hope that you check it out, and I will see you later.